Hey, it's Sub-Zero from Anchored Soul. Today I'm reviewing a few websites that I chose for you guys specifically to buy a used guitar. So let's get to it. First off, I want to tell you guys about Reverb.com. This site is not that old as far as I know. It's pretty modern feeling and it's got a huge selection of guitars, and that's why I love them. If you go on their home page, you're going to find a bunch of guitars that have just been uploaded on there, because anybody can upload a guitar or any piece of gear that they want on there, and then you can just go forever pretty much. And you got a huge selection of both vintage and used guitars. So you can find anything from a cheap like $50 guitar to a, there's a $475,000 59 Les Paul on there. So it's very versatile, and that's why I like them. So the second place I want to tell you guys about is Chicago Music Exchange. It's not a franchise, it's just a store in Chicago with a big online presence. One word to describe these guys is hip. Why would they be hip? Well, there's these, like studio guitarists out there nowadays that live in Nashville with tight skinny jeans, which is cool. I'm not saying anything bad about them, but they like boutique gear, just like me. And so Chicago Music Exchange has boutique gear like Fano and, vintage gear like, vintage Gibsons, vintage Fenders, all that stuff. And it's pretty versatile. There's not as big a selection as Reverb.com, but I feel maybe a little bit safer with Chicago Music Exchange because there is a return policy. Like on Reverb.com, not every seller is gonna let you return their guitar if you don't like it, because they're just a Joe Schmo like me, some of them. So but Chicago Music Exchange, you can return it. The only part is if you don't live in Chicago, then if you're gonna return a guitar there, you're gonna have to send it back, and that's gonna cost you probably about $40 to ship a guitar back. So that's the only thing about them, but you can, and that's cool. So that's what I like about them, is they're pretty safe and they have a decent sized selection of high-end gear. So the third place I want to tell you guys about is Guitar Center. Guitar Center has a big presence overall, both on land and online. Why I like them is because I feel safe buying from them. I've had quite a bit of experience with Guitar Center because they're pretty much the local big music store. So if you buy a guitar online used and you don't like it, you just return it to your local store, and I feel totally safe about that. I'm like, well, I don't like this guitar, at least I don't have to eat the money that I just spent and can't return it. So I feel good about that. It's a 30-day return policy, so you have plenty of time. Vintage gear is a little bit different, but you'd have to ask them about that. So I like them. They're very versatile, huge selection. The last place I want to tell you guys about is eBay. Most of you guys have probably heard of eBay because they're a huge name these days, and they've been out for quite a while. They have tons of used guitars on there, which also means they have tons of sellers and they have tons of buyers. Since they have tons of buyers, it might be kind of hard to get a steal of a deal, but eBay gives you hope with a thing called auctioning. If there's no reserve on the product you're bidding on, and you maybe bid on it last minute and boom, you get it for a price that's super cheap, there's hope. There you go. You can get something for really cheap, and that's one reason I like eBay. A cool thing about eBay is they work with a company called PayPal, which keeps your money safe. So if the product doesn't get sent to you for some reason and the seller's just like, I don't want to send it, I just want the money, then you could be like, I didn't get my product, and then PayPal gives you your money back, which is sweet. The only thing about eBay that I don't like, that I feel is a little bit risky, is if there's something not fully described in there, and there's a ding on your guitar or something, you get it next week after you bought it, oh, there's a ding on the guitar that they didn't tell me about. Are you really wanting to argue the issue and send it back to the guy or something, or sue him? I don't know. But that's the only reason I kind of feel it's a little bit risky, and not every seller on there is going to accept returns. So that's one reason I don't like them. But definitely check out eBay because you can get good deals, and if you know your stuff, there's not too much to worry about. So there you guys have it. that was a few of my favorite places to buy a used guitar on the internet. If I had to choose one of these places, I would have to say it would be Guitar Center because of their great return policy and their huge selection of just high-end guitars and low-end guitars. No matter whether I'm a beginner or high-end collector, I can find a guitar there. And they also have good service with the experience that I have had with them. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and make sure to check out the links in the description. And lastly, I hope you guys have a great day.